Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as a Florida Stoneman, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about ways that you can keep your cool under stress, ways that you can keep your cool under pressure, ways that you can keep your cool in general, because when things go downhill, it's normally because you guys lost your cool. So it could be anything from little things adding up, it could be someone getting up in your face, or just different circumstances, or just there's a long list of certain things that'll cause us to lose our cool. It doesn't matter what it is. The enemy, dark entities, dark energies, wait for us to lose our cool. That door opens. Our cool being lost is the door opening, and they come straight in. They attach themselves to anything that might not be going well, and they try to amplify it. So that can't happen if you have a game plan for if you're strong and if you don't want to lose your cool, if you want to stay very, very rooted and you want to stay just, you're like, the difference between someone walking up to you and say, oh, you're ugly, and then you just looking at them and just being like, oh, okay, just like okay, God bless, or just, that's fine. Or someone walking up to you and saying in your face, you're ugly, and you say, well, you're ugly, and then you get into a fight, then you lost your cool, now you're hot, now you're just spending energy. Could be anything. Some people, we live in a world where mankind is failing their tests, so a lot of people will flat out just say stuff to you that if you just let them say it to you, they can say whatever they want to you, because people in this world will say the most random, hateful stuff towards you when you go out in public, especially in cities. If you don't react, you you fully speed up their karma. You're just like, okay, you didn't react to it. They said it to someone who didn't react to it. Now, you don't know what happens when that person goes home. Now, you actually make it more obvious to them that whatever happens to them, that your angels basically tell the Creator, because the Creator sees everything. So if you just ask God, ask the Creator, ask your angels, be like, okay, this one's out of my hands. I'm just giving it to you. I'm mature enough, I'm secure enough with myself to basically fully just pass it over to you and then forget about it. There's nothing with, oh, I have enemies, oh, I have these people after me, oh, I have all these different, guess what? I'll make another video about why you shouldn't have enemies, but you don't have enemies when you have God. You don't have enemies when you have angels. You don't have enemies when you're working with crystals energies that basically, it fully eliminates enemies. Like, their energy is so heavily sent back. Plus, on top of that, you're forgetting about them. You're erasing them from your mind and from your mental journal to the point where they're stuck with their own energy. And if that person's out trying to make enemies and that person's with their own energy, they're going to defeat themselves, and they're going to realize that sometimes they do. They're going to realize that they are their own worst enemy, and they're going to be stuck with themselves. So don't give them any energy or light to try and direct it towards you. Now, I have a few methods that I'm going to teach to you guys about how you guys can keep cool under stress, because I just talked about in detail about why it's important and how you can just pass it off, but that's actually a method on its own. You can fully pass it off by just giving it to God, by just giving it to your angels. Know that they will resolve it. Whatever you do, don't check to see if their karma has come yet, because it'll actually slow down their karma from coming. If you're checking their Facebook, oh, I want to see if something bad happened yet. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't even wish bad for them. You should be praying for them, because if that person's out in the world trying to make you lose your cool, or trying to get energy out of you, or just so miserable to the point where they're trying to get you upset, pray for them, because they're miserable. They are flat out miserable. Don't give them any light. Don't give their darkness any light. They crave it, but even if they had it, it would blind them, so don't give them light. Now, the first method, and I took notes of these because I was just thinking about ways, I was thinking about ways to help you guys. I'm like, because with different circumstances, every day presents some challenges here and there. Some days you don't see any challenges, some days when you go out in the world, they'll be like, oh, these people are acting crazy. Because, like I said, mankind is failing their tests. They're flat out failing their tests. A lot of people are just living chaotic lives that will result in what they ask for. But the first thing you do is when someone throws or whips negative energy at you, even if you get just frustrated and upset without even anyone making you upset, the first thing you do, prevent yourself from lashing out at others. No, you don't even think of this, but when you're upset, you go home, you're like, nah! You like slam something down. Maybe your significant other was doing fine. Maybe your kids were doing fine. Maybe your grandmother, your mother was doing fine, and you brought something home that you never kept cool. Now they're affected. Now, if you don't stop yourself, because they could be like, okay, what's up? Like, what's going on? You're like, I'm not happy right now. You're like, okay, but then you cut it off there. I promise you, if you lash out at them, it's gonna come back to you. Not just karmically, but it's gonna come back because you made them mad. They were having a fine day. They were doing completely bad. They were doing completely fine, and then you lashed out. You just ruined their day. I mean, no one can ruin your day, but you really heavily influenced their days. And now, maybe you calm down 3 hours later, and they're still upset because you came home. You feel better because you took it out on them. You maybe yelled and screamed at them, and now they're still mad. So guess what? It's gonna come back to you because whatever you're mad about, it's in them, and they're gonna vent it at you. Now, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks. They're still mad, you're mad. Now you're playing the back and forth game of being mad. And both of you are stuck miserable when you could have just not vented out all of your frustrations or misery or just upsetness at them. It could have been fully avoided. If you know you're upset, zip your mouth. Don't vent. And there's a few other things you could do, including the second method. So basically, I call this the 7 method. Now, it's really incredible that a lot of people can get in the habit of being extremely ungrateful. Gratitude is the highest one of the highest vibrations. Love is the highest vibration. But if you're ungrateful, I mean, you can be grateful, yes, but on the spot when you ask someone, what are you grateful for? They'll say everything. Okay, name 7 things that you're grateful for. They'll be like, and do this, guys, right now. Try it. If you're having a regular day, if you're having a good day, a lot of you can't name 7 things on the spot. You'll be like, I'm grateful for, and then you'll start thinking, and that mechanism and the cog, basically getting the cog spinning, is the gratitude mechanism uplifting you and your vibration lifting. So you can practice. The 7 method is say 7 things you're grateful for on the spot. You can also, on top of this 7 method, another 7 method you can do is if you feel like you're having a bad day, not only do you say the 7 method, which is the 7 things you're grateful for on the spot in that moment, write down 7 things that happened to you that's really good in that day, and then just look at it on a piece of paper and focus on that, because here's what happens. You guys have amazing, wonderful days that people pray to have your day, and people can't. Some people can't get out of bed. People are sick. You're not sick. You're feeling fine, and you're just unhappy because you're unhappy and you don't even know why. And then you're just causing other people dread, or you're just weighing yourself down, weighing your opportunities down because you didn't confront yourself. All these topics, everything that I'm teaching you right now. Everything on this list that I'm teaching you as well, these methods, are to confront yourself, because you can be your own worst enemy. Like I said, we don't have enemies. If you make someone else your enemy, you're making yourself your enemy because you accepted that they are your enemy and you didn't do anything about it to protect yourself, forget them, pass it to the Lord, etc. But the next thing you could do is say 7 things in your day that went amazing and just focus on those. And you'll feel better. And you'll feel better out of nowhere after focusing on them. You might even completely forget whatever you were mad about. That's how it works. Gratitude is a very powerful vibration. And the next thing, this is pretty cool. If nothing's working, and because sometimes some of you practice the gratitude thing, but you're not truly grateful. You'll say 7 things you're grateful for, but you truly are ungrateful. And I don't mean that to really dissuade some of you. That method does not work for someone who's not used to being grateful. I mean, it is going to work subconsciously. It's going to take time. If you're someone who's flat out ungrateful for everything, it's going to take a second to kick in. Now this method right here, it'll help you have that method kick in because the gratitude thing always works. But if you're someone, because I've seen certain people I've given this method to that are just like, it didn't work. I said 7 things I'm grateful for. I'm like, okay. And then they list a whole bunch of things that they're not grateful for, even though they just said they're grateful for 7 things, and they don't try to switch their focus. So that's one reason that might be troublesome, but you have to confront yourself. Like I said, all these methods work. They're not going to work because you defeated them. We are our own biggest and worst enemies. And now, the other one is a very easy one. Go on your phone and watch something funny. When you guys watch something funny, it'll actually trick you out of whatever you're mad about very fast and very quickly. It's actually very easy. Say you're having a horrible morning. Maybe go on like a channel, a YouTube channel, a comedian or something, but laughter is a very high vibration, and then find something funny, which if for a second ago you were just like, I'm upset, and you're just like, yeah, I'm having a horrible day, and then you see something funny, you're like, you're laughing your butt off. For those who don't want to manifest that, you're laughing like crazy. I've seen some people on other comment sections say, I don't want to laugh my butt off. I don't want to manifest that. I don't. But back to the topic. If you're having a really bad day, find something to laugh about and just do your best to find something to laugh about. You can laugh. You're a human. It's in there. It's not covering anything up. It's actually switching the focus, because most likely why you're not feeling good, why you're upset, why everything is not going your way is because you're in a low vibration, and laughter is a very high vibration. So laughter is very good as well. Now, it's simple. That's a really simple one. I remember one day I woke up, too many things were happening at once. I remember the mail guy knocked on the door, and like there was like someone I got something from, like try to put what do you call cash on delivery when it was just not even supposed to be a cash on delivery. It was just supposed to be a delivery, and then the UPS guy is asking for a bunch of information, and I'm like, you're a UPS guy, and like this is just supposed to be dropped off. And then I started getting phone calls, and like it was too much at once when I first woke up. And then my family started asking for help, and I'm like, I just woke up. And then I sat down, and went through my phone, and I saw some funny bird videos, and I was just like laughing because the bird videos were really funny. And I think birds are awesome, so birds make me laugh. Like just different parakeets doing different dances and things like that and saying different things. I think it's funny, and I think it's cool, so it actually lifted my moods, and I completely forgot about that. We can snap ourselves out of it. There's no such thing as not being able to snap yourself into a good mood. If you say, I can't snap myself into a good mood, then you're manifesting that fully. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. But the next thing you're going to do is simple, journal. People are like, I journal. Yep, I journal. And I'm like, what do you journal? Like 3 sentences. This is not a college essay. You don't have to write it. Just confront your thoughts. Don't write stuff. I mean, but the thing about journaling, just start tracking your thoughts. So basically, our thoughts will go crazy, and then we'll become our worst enemy because our thoughts are just going haywire. But when you get a second to just write them out, like pause your mind, pause your thinking, and just whatever's popping in your head, track wherever it came from, and just write it out. And you'll be like, oh. If you're overthinking, if you write it down, it's on paper. You're not gonna, your brain, there's a subconscious aspect of your brain is not gonna want to overthink it, because it's like, I already got it on paper. I don't have to overthink it. It's gonna work. This works. This method works. 100%. It's worked magic for people I've given it to. Journal, and don't just be like, yeah, I journal sometimes. Like, yeah, I mean, like last week I journaled like a few minutes, like, no. Get into a schedule of journaling. Once you start feeling panicky and under pressure, you can make a flow chart. You can make any kind of chart. Like, okay, right in a circle, why am I mad? Arrow. Write an arrow. And then I'm mad because, or I'm upset because, blah, 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 blah. And you say, why did you, make another arrow. Why did you let this bug you? And then keep making arrows. Keep tracking it. Keep going down the different arrows. And you'll be like, wait a second. That's it? Because a lot of times you guys might be upset or frustrated about 3 different things, but it's just 3 different things that you have trouble keeping track of, and it's chaotic, and it seems like 10 different things, but you haven't wrote it down. So when you write it down, you're like, That's what I'm worried about. Like, you ever have the feeling when you're worried about something, like, I know I have to do something, I know I'm worried about it, but I can't even remember what it is. You write everything down, you're like, oh, okay, I feel better now. Period. That's it. That's all you have to do is just get in a habit of journaling. Don't journal here and there. Don't journal sometimes. This is not a college assignment. This is to help you guys grow. This is to help you feel better. Now, another thing you can do is work with crystals. Yeah, all crystals are vibration raising. The 3 crystals I suggest for calming you down. The first one's smoky quartz. It's a negative energy and moodiness absorber. Then also use black tourmaline, because the black tourmaline will cut off any entity that's trying to get you to be upset. Another crystal you can use is hematite. It'll help focus you and it helps pull energy out of your aura and realigns it to help you really focus on what you need to be doing, and it's going to make things less chaotic and crazy. Remember, it's the earth element stone and it helps really align you. Now, that's pretty simple. Work with those 3 crystals: black tourmaline, hematite, and black tourmaline, hematite, and smoky quartz. I just said them out of order, but yeah, that's the order. So another method you can do is, I made a bucket list of notes out of it. This is the 6th method. I'm not numbering them because they're all just mixed together. It's just stuff you should be doing, and just whatever shines to you, whatever sticks out the most. I call it shines. Whatever shines to you is the method that's going to help you the most. Whatever method makes you feel the most uncomfortable is also going to help you the most as well. So if any of these methods kind of make you feel like, I don't really like that method, then it's going to help you the most. It's going to help you the most. Same thing with crystals. Like crystals that we don't like the most, or crystals that we think are like the yuckiest, or like the most disturbing looking, like we don't like their energy. It's the ones we have to work with the most. It's kind of like a medicine that we haven't taken, but when we take it, it'll actually make us feel better. Same thing. But the last method is to practice grounding. So go outside, put your feet in the dirt, stand on grass. I mean, people say touch grass. I don't know why that became a trend, like, oh, touch grass. Put your feet on the grass. You can put them in the dirt, and then the earth will suck ions out of you. So basically you're filled with positive ions, you're filled with positive ions, and the earth is filled with negative ions, and it'll suck the positive ions out of you and replace them with negative ions, and it'll help equalize you and make you feel better. It'll draw the stress out of you. It'll help you feel much better overall. You'll feel a lot better, especially when you do it by a tree after. And this is for people who, oh, you tree hugging. Trees have spirits, just different kinds of spirits, so you can actually do this by a tree. Sometimes you'll get a name in your head from the tree. Depends. It has to be a really old tree. I mean, it doesn't have to, but that's the best, easiest way to do it for someone who's new. But yeah, this is an entire list of what you guys can do, and about just keeping your cool. Because once you know how to keep your cool, and no one can ever get you mad, or you're never upset, everything gets easier, and anyone who's trying to get you upset can't really do anything. You know that whatever person tries to get you upset is going to come back to them even faster, because you just let it slide. God's taking care of things. Your angels are taking care of things, etc. You'll actually get a lot more ahead when you learn to have a set of mechanisms for when something tries to make you upset, because when you get upset, you open the doors and everything falls apart. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment sections. I really hope this video did help you. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Ciao!